1.
Was a surprise attack by the Japanese forces on December 7, 1941. The attack destroyed or damaged almost 20 naval vessels, including 8 battleships and over 300 airplanes. 24,000 Americans lost their lives that day.
To bring you this story, we interrupt our program.
An American airplane dropped one bomb on Hiroshima.
The White House has just made an important announcement on the war.
Buzzing with the news of the atomic bomb.
We knew the world would not be the same. We have now added a new and revolutionary increase in destruction.
Aren't sure yet what hit the place.
On August 6, 1945, one of the first ever atomic bombs was dropped on the city of Hiroshima. This atomic bomb caused around 130,000 casualties and destroyed thousands of houses. This attack later led to the atomic bombing of Nagasaki, which later led to the surrender of Japan, which occurred on September 2, 1945. This surrender brought World War II to a close.
On August 6, 1945, a disaster took place in the city of Hiroshima when the first ever nuclear weapons were dropped on them during World War II. Due to this horrific event, Japan surrendered World War II. On August 6, 1945, a U.S. atomic bomb was dropped on the city of Hiroshima and killed 140,000 people. 3 days later, a second bomb killed 70,000 people in Nagasaki. On July 16, 1945, in the New Mexico desert, the United States donated the world's first nuclear weapon test explosion. 3 weeks later, U.S. bombers carried out a surprise atomic bomb attack. At 8:15 on August 6, the uranium-based atomic bomb Little Boy was used on Hiroshima. The blast packed a destructive force of about 15 kilotons of TNT. In minutes, the city vanished. The explosion produced a supersonic smoke wave, followed by extreme winds that remained above hurricane forces over 3 kilometers from ground zero.
When the nuclear age began, there was no mistaking it. The decision by the United States to drop the world's first atomic weapons on the 2 Japanese cities, Hiroshima first on August 6, 1945, and Nagasaki 3 days later, was the rare historical moment that requires little hindsight to gain its significance. World War II would end and the Cold Wars would soon begin. New frontiers of science were opening along with new, frightening moral questions. As Time noted, in the week following the bombings, the men aboard the Enola Gay could only summon 2 words: "My God." Shortly after the end of the war, an American mission was sent to Japan to report on the destruction brought by the atomic bombs. 5 to 6 years after the bombings, the incidence of leukemia increased noticeably among survivors. After about a decade, survivors began suffering from thyroid, breast, lung, and other cancers at higher than normal rates. Among the long-term effects suffered by the atomic bomb survivors, the most deadly was leukemia. An increase in leukemia appeared about 2 years after the attack and peaked around 4 to 6 years later. Children represent the population that was affected most severely.
In conclusion, the attack on Pearl Harbor led to the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. There were 2 bombs dropped in Japan. The disaster led to thousands of deaths and injuries. The bombing also left years of radiation that will continue to injure more people throughout the years.